On? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys joining me today. It is Tuesday. It is May 13th. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. Hope you're off to a really good start. We're already getting through the middle of May, you know. I mean, shoot, it flies by. Pretty soon it'll be June. Then we'll have SEC Media Days, and then the entire season will restart. So just hang on in there. We'll get you through summer, all right? I appreciate you guys being here. I'll give some shout-outs today. We'll be going over some trending topics, and I'd like this to be a call-in show today. So definitely call in, college football sound-off. Here's some trending topics that you can work through. You got the Regions Pro-Am here coming up. I love that they paired Coach Saban and Charles Barkley together. I said yesterday that should be on mainstream TV, right? That's like must-see content. By the way, Nick Kelly of AL.com posted that what I thought was right. Coach Saban's handicap is 10, right? I didn't know that Hugh Freeze had a handicap of 5.7, and then Coach Kalen DeBoer up there at like 18, 19. So Coach Saban loves golf. So the Regions Pro-Am taking place up in Birmingham, Hoover area. Yesterday, I released that number 24 in our top 25 player rankings was Jamarian Latham. And now that I think about it, I'm like, should I have maybe put Yanzi Pierre in that place? Straight up, I feel that Yanzi Pierre is a better player than Ja Latham, but Ja Latham has more experience. I don't know. I was still surprised that Ja Latham came back. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make a difference because that wolf position is so talented. And I think the ultimate starter will be Quay Rusaw and then followed by Yanzi Pierre. I don't know. I keep on asking. I love some feedback here. Like, who is Alabama's number 4 wide receiver going to be? That's something that, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if it's going to be Lazier Brooks. I don't know if it's going to be Rico Scott, Jalen Hell. I don't know. And I think this comes after the big 3. By the way, did you see this? So Jerry Bernard posted this on social media, right? It's basically kind of like a hypo video. We love Jerry Bernard here. 2nd year Alabama wide receiver. But did you see this? I'd never seen this before. So now they're wearing these like goggles. Did you see this? Look at this. Has anybody seen football players wearing this? You know, I've been seeing recently kind of, longer wear like pants anymore for football practice. They're basically shorts that go, I don't even know if they cover your thigh. You've seen this as well. But this right here, Antoine, I appreciate you becoming a fan funder, man. That's what's up. Have you seen these goggles? I don't know what this is. Maybe this is some sort of technology that I haven't seen yet, or maybe they're just wearing goggles inside. This is in the indoor practice facility. Maybe this is just some space age, you know what? Who knows? Daniel's like, I wear those in the shower. All right, let's do some shout outs for this beautiful May 13th. All right, let's see who's up in the house today. All right, Alyssa, what's up? Good morning to you. I appreciate you. She says, good morning, Bama family. Missed yesterday. Had jury duty. Yo, that's, man, jury duty getting called, missing the show. No, I get it. Herman, what's up, man? He said, good morning, Kyle and everybody tuning in today on this terrific Tuesday. You could say terrific Tuesday. You could say Taco Tuesday, right? Triumphant Tuesday. Chad Kennedy, man, what's up, bro? you got to take the rest on the winning streak. He's been hot. CJ, what's up, man? Good to see you. He's been an Alabama fan. He's an OG. Jay Boogie, what's up, man? Good to see you. From, what's up? Will the NCAA ban the tush push? I don't know. Do we think that the tush push should be banned? Is it banned? Have they already banned it in the NFL? Look, if you don't want to have to deal with the tush, this is my reasoning, okay? And I'm open to hearing stuff about the tush push, but like, if you don't want to have to deal with the tush push, don't put yourself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in the goal line situation. Like, don't let them get there. All right, let's see who else we got. Herman, we said good morning to you. I know, and somebody comments on the thumbnail is a phone. Does anybody remember the rotary phones where you had to like spin around until you got the number? That's probably too old for y'all. But my grandma had it at her house, and you would like click. You like, if the number started with like 8, you'd have to go to 8, go all the way through. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Robert Bradley, what's up, man? Good to see you. I appreciate it. Brady G, what's up, man? Welcome. Todd tip to my boy. Kaylin Childress says, roll Tide. William Chum, what's up, man? King Riz, man. Got that Riz. And Chris Waldman up in here. Kaylin DeBoer. And we got a good crew up in here today. Matthew, what's up? All right. Patriot Life, what's up, man? Patriot Life's up in the house. King Riz remembers the phones. All right. So today, this is the raffle. This is fire. This is a $5 raffle, and I love this hat. I'm going to get this hat, too. This hat is my favorite. All right. I think we had one hat on here that we just raffled in-house. You didn't have to, get in the raffle for it. And Angel won that. Kyle's Chronicles. Kyle recognized Chronicle. Yeah, dude. 41. 41 years old. Wild. Anyone else from 83 up in here? All right. So this raffle, $5 to get in. All right. $5. You can get a max 3 entries. How to get into the raffle, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. The gear is from Athlete's Thread. If you want to get in, send a Cash App or Bama YouTube, or Super Chats work as well. Patriot Life has already donated 5 fan funderships. Patriot Life has taken care of the community forever. So William, Steven, Cookie all day, Ruben Poole, Derek up in the house. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm gonna order this hat. And if you want the gear directly, so how this works is the gear, if you get it through Athlete's Thread, a portion of that goes to the player. Might be all of it. I don't know how that works. And then a portion that we receive goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen. So we've already made, a drop-off a couple weeks ago, and we'll do it, in a couple months. So this hat is $5 entry today, Cash App or Bama YouTube. And this is part of the Hide the Tide collection on Athlete's Thread. Love the hat. And, if you want to get into the raffle, feel free. I'm going to open up the call-in line. You'll see it right here in the lower third of the screen. Call-in line is 205-850-1994. And pretty much like a open general show today. If you want to hit on a couple different topics that have been on your mind, if you have a question for me, if you want to pose a hypothetical, feel free to call in 205-850-1994. And I think when we kind of look to some of the trending topics that are out there at this point in time, there still are some interesting things to talk about, despite us being kind of in this, low level month of May. Alex, I got you in, bro. And for me, what I think are some trending topics, and I guess I'll have to shift this around. See if I can move this little guy. Is I think that, anything with Ty Simpson is clearly interesting because he's the next Alabama quarterback. And it's one of the biggest unknowns as we step forward. But I'm also starting to think about how bad will Alabama beat Florida State, and I can't help but feel super confident in that. And I think that from the jump, Ty Simpson comes out swinging. I really do. I really do, and I think that he'll have a very successful opener. Despite the only thing that I'm kind of that is on my mind is that the game is on the road in Tallahassee, right? And I think they'll play much better this year on the road as opposed to last year. Ruben Poole, what's up, man? Ruben's loving the hat. All right, Ruben, appreciate you, bro. See, but I'm starting to really buy into this too. Like Kalen DeBoer inside the comment box, he's just like, we should really kind of run it up on him. And I think when you start to look at the odds makers, they're starting to feel that way as well, right? We've talked about the fact that it's gone from 6 up to like 11 or 12 or whatever. All right, Patriot Life, take care, bro. Thanks for jumping in, man. Steven, what's up? We see you coming from California. Let me just ask you. You don't have to put a score prediction or anything like that. It's way too early. But don't you kind of get the feeling? I don't know if we've been gassing these guys up too much, or we're kind of reading into our own material. But doesn't it kind of feel? And maybe this is rat poison. I get it. And I'm not asking for a score prediction. King Riz, it's Tommy Castellanos. He's a transfer from Boston College. Thumbs up if you agree that you're starting to feel that Alabama kind of lays it on Florida State in week 1. Thumbs up inside the comment box. You don't have to post a score prediction or anything like that. But I do. I'm feeling like really, really optimistic about this game. Which is weird because I don't. The away stuff scares me. But other than that, I think like head to toe, roster to roster, I think the Alabama will give it to them. And I think there'll be a variety of reasons. I think the Alabama will go into the season, and I think they've already made a statement that they have a chip on their shoulder, being that, no guys left the transfer portal. I thought that was super significant. But I think they'll be kind of dialed in, and you have Ryan Grubb, who I think will be ready to go, and specifically the defense. That's when we kind of go back to number 24, Jamir Latham coming back. I don't even know if he's really a top 25 guy now that I've kind of put him out there. I kind of feel that Yanzi Pierre maybe should have replaced him. Again, call line is open if you want to chime in this morning, 205-850-1984. Thanks, Ruben Poole. Appreciate you. And Patriot Life as well, man. Chance, what's up, bro? See you inside the comment box. Thanks for the super, man. We'll put you in for the hat. And this is the hat we're raffling today. $5 to get in, and we'll try to spin the pinwheel at the back end of the show. Robert, I got you in, man. Robert Bradley. Can you imagine having to deal with Alabama coming into this next season and trying to figure out some sort of a way to deal with Ryan Williams? And I think having to deal with him by himself, last year was a headache enough, but now you add on Isaiah Horton, you add on Lazier Brooks, you bring back Jalen Hell, right? You have some other guys clearly that we could talk about, but maybe the wide receiver room, I think, is just going to be very overwhelming for defenses to have to deal with. That's why I think if Ty Simpson just plays mistake-free football, he doesn't have to do anything fancy. He just literally has to get the ball to these guys within 15 yards and let them kind of do the rest. We have a call that's coming in, and we'll take it. It's a 317. Yeah, I appreciate you joining us. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? This is Marcus from St. Pete, man. How you doing?
What's up, Marcus? I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate you joining the show today on Tuesday, man. Come with it.
And first off, I wanted to say congratulations, Kyle, man. I saw a video that you did with a young man a few weeks back named Brian about how you got your start.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool video that you helped him out, because I mean, like, y'all's amount of followers and compare it, yours are vast. Your numbers and followers are way bigger than his, and I felt like you were just really helping this kid out, doing him a solid and doing a video with him. I watched it, man. It was a good interview you had with that guy.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description. It's basically, it's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and he was just, kind of peppering me with some questions about how I got started, how I got into the industry, things like that. So I'll post it inside the comment box for people to check out. But I think when you look back on all the content creators, you got to start somewhere. And look, I think just like in anything, you have to take action in what you want to do. And, I love when people want to set goals. And if they see this channel or any other channel as kind of something that they want to get into, yeah, I think they should absolutely go for it, because sometimes you just kind of have to follow your heart in that regard. But anyways, man, glad you saw it. I'll post the link in the description if you're curious to watch and curious to follow Brian's journey, man. But I appreciate that, man. What else you got, bro?
So I watch a lot of different Locked On shows. Like I watch Locked On Bama, I watch Locked On SEC and Big Ten and AC. Like I watch all these different conferences because I like to see what's happening around the country. And the fact that we're talking about FSU, I watched Locked On Seminoles yesterday, and the host of the show was saying that Florida was going to win at least 7 games. Florida State was going to win at least 7 to 8 games, but he was unsure that the Bama game was going to go Alabama's way. And I thought, well, maybe he has a little bit of bias. But then later in the show, he talked about I forgot who it was that FSU was going to play, but he was like, oh yeah, I think it might have been Florida. And he was like, oh, I think this is going to be an easier game, and that it was going to be a guaranteed victory. And I was like, how do you think that beating the Gators is going to be a guaranteed victory, but playing against Alabama is going to be a coin flip, which is basically how he called it. He wasn't so sure about that. Mm-hmm. Am I going crazy, or is that just like the most wildest logic I've ever heard? Because I hadn't heard anything crazy coming out of the Seminole camp. Like nothing.
Yeah,
no one has. I haven't heard about Castellanos being, lighting it up or anything like that. And I know they're playing a lot of things close to the vest, but there's no way that I feel that Alabama's going there and struggle. And maybe that's just me having blind faith. Yeah. But out of all the noise and buzz that's being generated that was being generated in spring camp at Alabama's camp versus what's happening at the Seminoles, I feel like it would be crazy not to think Bama goes in there and wins like 49-0.
Mm. Yeah, I think when that's interesting to hear. I didn't see that. But I think the thing about Florida State is they have been more reserved with kind of their talk, right? I think they were humbled a couple last season, of course, but maybe it's kind of in a rebuilding mode. And Alabama, clearly is always kind of like the team to beat, and they probably see this game as an opportunity to kind of get back in week 1. But I haven't really heard anything, about Florida State. I mean, in the past, when they played back in 2017, it was like the game of the century to open up. I think Florida State understands where they're at, but they probably understand that they have a hell of an opportunity to jump back on the map in week 1 against a loaded Alabama team. But and look, it is what it is. I mean, Alabama, you're going to have so much hype for them. I mean, even Josh Pate has Alabama in his top 5. Like, this team is supposed to be good from the jump because of their defense, because of what they've done on the offensive side. Regarding Florida, look, Billy Napier, raise your hand inside the comment box if you thought he was going to be fired last year. I did. I looked at that back end of the schedule, and I thought he would be fired. He did an amazing job coaching his you-know-what off on the back end of the season, and now that he has his quarterback coming back, look, Florida is. I'm glad that things went well for Billy Napier, because that was the toughest schedule in college football, and he survived it on the hot seat. There was no hotter seat than his. And to be able to come out on that, I think Florida will be much better this coming season. I have no idea how many games they'll win or where they're going to fall in the SEC, because the SEC is, it's a constant meat grinder. But he coached his you-know-what off, man, and he's got a really good quarterback, and, he's cut from that Saban cloth, and who knows. But I think Florida State probably loses each of those games, so there's probably 2 losses for Florida, for Florida State. And we'll have to see. I don't know if either of those are a coin flip. I think Florida and Alabama will be heavy favorites in each of those games. Anything else, bro?
Yeah, there's one last thing, and I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this, but I'm not a keyboard warrior. Like, I'll say it and put my name on it. I love Josh Pate. I think a lot of people who listen to different college football shows around the country they respect what Josh Pate has to say, and he tries to remain unbiased as much as possible. But when he put out that top 25, I was very shocked that he had Penn State ranked so high.
Yeah.
I understand the weapons that they have, but this is my big issue with it. At some point you have to factor in who's the head coach. And no matter how much talent Coach Franklin has had at Penn State, he cannot beat Michigan, he cannot beat Ohio State, and he cannot win against ranked opponents.
Yeah.
And the fact that you took a coach who's like 1-20 or 24, something ridiculous against ranked opponents, and you put him ahead of Georgia, Alabama. I mean, the only SEC team ahead of them, I think, was Texas. So you're gonna say that Coach Franklin this year is just gonna start beating all these ranked opponents, because that means he's gonna have to go through. That means that Penn State's going to make a deep playoff run, right? If you got them ranked so high. And I know this is spring camp, like post-spring camp rankings, but there's no way I would rank Penn State that high, given the fact that Coach Franklin, who's not a terrible coach, but just can't beat ranked opponents, who has like one of the worst records against ranked opponents. I was real shocked to think that in one season he's just going to put it all together and defy all the odds and beat everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're looking at Penn State's schedule. Yeah, I don't agree with Penn State being up there or Clemson. Those are two teams that I can't really buy into for whatever reason. So I've been like that for years, and I felt that Penn State actually they played better than I thought they would in the playoffs. But overall, I still don't buy them. And the same thing with Franklin. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. He can't and he doesn't win really marquee football games when push comes to shove. Now, when you look to this particular schedule with Penn State, I haven't even looked at it real quick, so let's just kind of examine it from the jump. Nevada, they'll win. FIU, they'll win. Villanova, they'll win. So they're off to a hot start, ranked number 1. They'll be number 1 all the way until late September when they take on Oregon. The game will be in Penn State. Then they go to UCLA, take on Nico, so they'll win that game. Northwestern, Iowa. Finally, after that Oregon game, they'll go to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Probably a loss right there. Beat Indiana, beat Michigan State, Nebraska. That's an easy schedule. This is an easy schedule. Holy cow. Penn State, yeah. No, Penn State, I mean.
Penn State got a Texas schedule.
Whoa, this schedule is. And look, their only tough game, I mean, they have Oregon at home, okay? Who knows? Coin flip or whatever. They'll lose this game. But everything else, tell me what other game is hard on the schedule? I'm not, just because we cover Alabama football, like if the schedule was hard, I'd tell you it's hard. This schedule is terrible.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, maybe sometimes Iowa can, punch you under the belt late in the season. But anything else, like, come on, Nebraska, no. Michigan State, no. Indiana, no. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
It is an easy schedule because Coach Franklin beats the teams he's supposed to beat, but he loses to the teams that most people think he's going to lose to. So
yes,
I don't think they're going to compete for the Big Ten Conference. I mean, I could be wrong, and if so, then I am, and I'll admit it. But just looking at the way it is right now, just looking at the schedule, he's going to take at least 3 losses.
Yeah,
you're going to take at least 3 losses.
He'll lose to Ohio State.
Oregon.
Yeah, who knows about that Oregon game? But he'll lose. I don't know if they'll make the Big Ten championship or whatever, but then they'll lose in the playoffs. So I don't know. Anyways, good call, man. Yeah, I bring up some really good points. Penn State is one of those teams that I think they'll be good, and clearly their schedule warrants them to be. So we'll see how it shakes out for them. But yeah, I appreciate the call, bro.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Roll Tide, everybody.
Yeah, take it easy, man. All right, good call from St. Pete's. Yeah, so if you want to call in 205-850-1994. Yeah, that's a easy schedule. Really, really easy. Call line's open, by the way. And this is Pate's preseason top 10. Clemson, Texas, Penn State. Well, who had Penn State number 1? Klatt. I think it was Joel Klatt that had Penn State number 1, and Pate has them number 3. I think that's how it went. But that's the same thing with Clemson, too. It's like we could look at Clemson's schedule if you guys wanted. I could bring that up on board. But, yeah, I'm not buying, some of these teams. Even like LSU up here, man, Notre Dame has it figured out. Notre Dame, they don't even play in a conference. They can play whoever they want. So, yeah, it was Klatt who had them. It was Klatt who had them, number 1. And Coach Pate has them at number 3. So who knows? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. This was yesterday's hoodie that we had. And again, you can get, if you want like the hide the tie type gear, just go to Athlete's Thread. They have a bunch of different gear. This is what we're raffling out today. We got a good lineup so far. We got Alex in here, Ruben, Chance, Patriot Life, Robert Bradley. Chad donated for 2 different people because he's been so hot. What a guy, Chad. Appreciate that, man. Wouldn't it be amazing if we randomly select 2 people for Chad and those win? So, yeah, no doubt, Marcus. I appreciate you calling in, man. If you want to call in the show, 205-850-1994. If you missed it, I showed this earlier. We were looking at these goggles. I don't know what these are. I've never seen these before. Audio? Is the audio? We should be good. Test. Test. Is there like an audio issue? I'm cutting in and out? Really? All right, give me 1 second. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. You know, one of the things that we've seen when there is some audio hiccups or whatever is if you refresh the channel, like refresh your page, it comes through. Marcus, what's up, man? Thanks for the super, bro. We'll put you in for the hat, dude. The audio is fine for me because I can see like the levels on my screen. So do a refresh and we should be fine. You know what I like to low-key do is I really like to look at the other schedules, right? So if you look, we have the call line is open 205-850-1994, but if there's another schedule that you want to look at, let me know and I'll pull it on the screen. Just post it inside the comment box. And look, I'm not a big NBA guy. I do watch it during like the playoffs, but I did see that Jason Tatum was out with the Achilles. Man, one of the greats currently, right? So hate to see it. Marcus, I like that avatar too, man. That's what's up. I didn't realize that Penn State's schedule would be like that, man. And a lot of those teams from the Big Ten have schedules like that. And look, no one is saying that the Big Ten isn't a good conference because I think they are a good conference. I just think that some of their schedules aren't as challenging for whatever reason. You guys want to see LSU's schedule? LSU or Boise State? Texas has an easy one again? All right, let's see Texas. Texas football schedule. Oh, by the way, if you're curious, this shirt that I have on, this is from Walmart. I went to Walmart the other day and I was like, yo, because I wore the black one the other day. All right, here's a Texas schedule. All right, let's see this. All right, so here is Texas's schedule this season. Okay, I mean, look, that's a hell of a game right out the jump. That's a tough game. Okay, at Ohio State, yeah, I mean, that's harder than Alabama's opener. Okay, then they got San Jose State, UTEP, San Houston. Okay, so who knows what happens in that week 1 opener? No idea. But let's just say they're 3-1. Okay. They go to Florida. Difficult. Oklahoma. Okay. Cotton Bowl. It's not at home. That'll be tough. Yo, I'll tell you this. Look, this schedule, in my opinion, is more challenging than Penn State's by a million. Okay. Just stay with me. Look. I actually, this isn't a bad schedule. At Ohio State, that's hard. Okay. Those other games not. At Florida, the Swamp, that's tough. Oklahoma, rivalry game. John Mateer, tough. Stark Vegas is Stark Vegas. You have to deal with Diego Pavia. You go to Georgia. This is actually a tougher schedule than I thought it'd be. Then you have Texas A&M. They should be better under year 2 under Mike. This is actually I would say that Penn State, their schedule is like 3 out of 10 hard. This one is like a 5 or a 6. This is a hard schedule. Not like overly challenging, but I think it's hard. At Ohio State, at Florida, random game against Oklahoma. It's a good schedule. That's a good schedule for them. I don't know how many games they're going to win or lose, but it's nothing like that other schedule that we just saw. Oh, the schedule looks too zoomed out for you guys. There you go. What would you say the schedule is in like soft or hard? Difficult. Easy or difficult? Let's word it that way. 10 being like super hard. 7, 5, easy. See, Larry Large is saying that they'll lose 3 games. Hacker Music, what's up, bro? Hacker Music says the conference schedule is fairly easy to me. It's a 5. I'm gonna say I might be with Dan here. 6. I might be with Dan. These are hard games. Kalen saying 6. All right. Who has a yeah, I was like difficult or easy is a better way to put it. All right. What other schedule? What other team? Texas is hard. I'm saying Texas is much harder than Penn State. Who else we got? We did Texas. We did Penn State. And I don't even know if we should add a Mountain West team. Should we look at because it's either going to be UN. How about Notre Dame would be a good one? How about Boise State or UNLV? Boise State. All right. Renegade has it. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Boise State football schedule 2025. All right. Loading in 3, 2, 1. Okay. No idea how many games these guys are going to win. But they made the playoffs last year. Shoot, these guys got a bye last year in the playoffs. Okay, so full screen's probably better. South Florida. Okay. Look, going to South Florida, this might be interesting. Their coach. That's a trap game for them to open up the season. Okay. What's the early line? Jarvis, if you're in here, can somebody look up the early line between Boise at South Florida? Let's get an early line on that game. That's an interesting game. I'm watching that game. Okay, Eastern Washington. You got the red field versus the blue field. Albertson Stadium. That's the stadium name at Boise. I didn't know it's called Albertson Stadium. Does anybody even know what Albertsons is besides me? If you've lived in the West, you know what Albertsons is. Albertsons is a grocery store. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's like the Western Publix because I don't know if anything is as expensive as Publix. Does anybody know like Vaughn's? Smith's? Yeah, Albertsons was cool. No, there was an Albertsons where I lived. It was okay. All right, so they got Eastern Washington at Air Force, okay. Appalachian State, okay. Who knows? At Notre Dame, okay. New Mexico, UNLV, that'll be a great game, but it's in Boise. You got Nevada, Fresno. I mean, come on. Safeway. Yes, Safeway. I don't know. This schedule, it's probably good for like their talent level. I don't know. This is going to be, look, if they beat South Florida and, they just have one loss, these guys are in the playoffs again. They'll probably play UNLV twice. That's the thing. The college football playoffs is not taking the best 12 teams, right? You have to take either UNLV or Boise State this coming year again. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Publix versus Albertsons on a neutral field. We might need to have a grocery store off. Yeah, the top dog in all of this. Is there anything higher than Whole Foods? You go into Whole Foods. Whole Foods is like a whole different level of like lifestyle. Honestly, is there anything better than Whole Foods? Okay, you guys want a UNLV schedule. Dan Mullen, right? Coaching UNLV. Let's see what we got here. All right, Sam Houston. Okay, that's a W. Ooh, this is interesting. Immediately. UCLA in week 2. Idaho State. Allegiant Stadium. Piggly Wiggly is like a number 16 seed. Yeah, Whole Foods is like number 1. Piggly Wiggly 16. Aldi is like, you know what? Aldi is like an 8. 8 or a 9 seed. Publix is like an overrated 4 seed. Vons is like a 5. Yeah, Aldi, don't sleep on Aldi. Oh, Winn-Dixie, that's another one. Winn-Dixie's probably like an 11. Anybody go to Fresh Market? They have a Fresh Market here. All right, Idaho State, Miami. We're looking at UNLV's schedule. Look, we don't have to look too far at UNLV. The thing about it is UNLV. We know this. The playoffs is going to include one of the teams from the Mountain West. That's my prediction. It's going to be UNLV or Boise. Okay, that's it. And I think the team that we probably should look at for their schedule is right here, is Notre Dame, because Notre Dame has figured out a loophole. They don't have to play in a conference. So let's look at their schedule. All right, so we're looking at Notre Dame's schedule right here. Okay, let's go over this. This will be interesting. All right, Notre Dame taking on Miami. Bama hater loves Miami. Do they win this game? Do they beat Miami on the road? Carson Beck, right? Do they lose the first game of the season? Does Miami win this game? Oh, my God. If Miami wins this game, we'll never hear the end of it. Who wins, Notre Dame or Miami? Seriously, the game's in Miami. You got Carson Beck. Does Miami win this game? I don't know. What's the line on this game? Then you have Texas A&M, okay. They played last year, and I think that game was pretty tight. Man, could Notre Dame – what if Notre Dame starts out 0-2? Just hear me out. Somehow something goes wrong at Hard Rock Stadium. They lose to Carson Beck in Miami. Then they're open. Then they lose. I don't think they'll lose at home, but who knows? Texas A&M should be better. Year 2 under Elko. They got Purdue, Arkansas, Boise, NC State, USC, at Boston College, Navy, at Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. So, I mean, look, Notre Dame's going to be there as well. To be honest, we've just kind of went over 4 playoff teams, in my opinion. Penn State's going to make the playoffs. Notre Dame, if they win one of these games, who else is going to beat them? Nobody. They don't even play a conference game. So Notre Dame, Penn State, they're in the playoffs. Boise State or UNLV in the playoffs. That's 3 playoff teams. That's why I'm saying it's like Alabama football will be much better this year, but getting into the playoffs, it will still be much more challenging if they don't win or play in the SEC championship game. Ooh, I would love that, Chad. I mean, we thought kind of towards the back end of the season that maybe Alabama would go up to South Bend for the playoffs, but that didn't work out. No, Marcus, I think that Penn State will make it, bro, because of that weak schedule. Tide in Florida, what's up, man? Getting in the raffle, that's what's up. Let's see what Zach had to say inside the comment box. No one at Georgia liked Carson Beck, just like no one at Alabama liked Isaiah Bond. They literally couldn't find one person to say a good thing about Bond between Alabama and Texas. I don't know if that's true, but Isaiah Bond didn't even get drafted. That was crazy. What is this? What is Greer's? Is this a grocery store? And this could be true right here. Should we look at Georgia's schedule? See if we can kind of figure out how to get to Georgia's schedule. I would imagine that they play. Let's see. There they are. All right, this is Georgia. Okay, let's just look at Georgia's schedule. Okay, you got Marshall, Austin Peay, at Tennessee. They should be 3-0 by this point in time when they come into that game hosting Alabama, right? Then they have Kentucky, go to Auburn. That'll be tough for them to go to Jordan-Hare. It's tough for anybody. Then they have Ole Miss. Of course, that'll be tough. Then they got Florida. But both of those games, I mean, this game will be at a neutral site, right? The world's biggest cocktail, or whatever they call it. They got this game at home. They got Alabama at home. They got Texas at home. Look, Georgia. How many games is Georgia losing this year? The thing that's positive, that goes well for Georgia, is the fact that they have their challenging games at home. Right? I love Mavi Great's dope. He's funny. His funniest video to me was when he did a video on Seth McLaughlin snapping the ball, and he was like, look, you don't have to be super intelligent to literally just bend down and snap the football. He has some good stuff, man. He's built himself up. That guy, self-made 100%. He's funny, too. Funny dude. Good content. Okay. I don't know. I mean, okay, win. They play Bama. I mean, I don't know if there's like that probably coin flip. Okay. Okay, win. Now they're up to 5. 5-1 if they lose to Alabama. Ole Miss. I don't know. Maybe they'll beat Ole Miss 6-1, beat Florida 7-1, 8-1, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2. Are they 10-2? Hey, Chad, and for your contributions today, I'm going to put Herman in the raffle and Alyssa as well. 9-3. Heath has them at 9-3. I never even heard what that is. Eron is a nicer place than Whole Foods. I never even heard of that one. All right. Okay. So I'll leave this open just for a minute real fast, and then we'll spin the pinwheel. I appreciate you guys joining us today. This hat's fire. I'm going to get this hat as well. I don't even know how to pronounce that, Alabama Renegade. Wow, so that place is better than... I'm going to have to look this up. I didn't know that. I mean, I thought that Whole Foods was like as high as it goes on the grocery scale. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know... Do we have any Trader Joe's fam up in here? Trader Joe's would be like a 3 seed, 4 seed. Easy. Really good prices, good stuff. Who doesn't? Is there anybody that doesn't like Trader Joe's? I don't think I've ever gotten like a steak from Trader Joe's though. All right, give me a second. Let me clean this up and then I'll come back and we'll do a little pinwheel. We'll raffle out this hat. I'll put the link for this hat directly to inside the comment box. But if you want to just get the gear, go to Athlete's Thread and then just kind of go through it. They have, they have a few other hats that are pretty tight. They have this hat, but it's in black and it just has like the camo. But I'm rolling with like the whole camo right now. Hey Jay, I haven't heard anything on Mac Jones. I really haven't been following like any like camp stuff with the 49ers. I should, because that is certainly an interesting storyline. I'm glad that the 49ers finally have somebody from Alabama on its roster. Piggly Wiggly down in the field. What's look, you go to Piggly Wiggly, whatever. Where? Okay, we'll spin the pinwheel 3 times. 3 times. So, okay, I'm telling this before. So we'll spin the pinwheel 1, 2, 3, and it will be the 3rd time that we spin it. That'll be the winner. Okay, 3 times. Oh, Sam's Club. That's a good one too. But let me ask you: is there anything below Piggly Wiggly? Like, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying. Is Piggly Wiggly like the 16th seed, or is there something below? Is there like a playoff play into our grocery store rankings? What about like Dollar General? Yo, they have food there. Hear me out. Here in Tuscaloosa, there are these little like Central American tiendas everywhere. And there's one that has a grocery store. It's like a Mexican grocery store. Go in there for your fruits and vegetables. Tell them Kyle Henderson sent you. They won't know who the hell that is. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me clean this up. I'll be back, and we'll spin the pinwheel. Give me 1 second. All right, you ready? All right. This is a fun one. I like that hat. Okay, remember, we're spinning it 3 times. The third time we spin it is the winner. All right? Just build up some drama real quick. While I was gone, was there anything below Piggly Wiggly that I missed? Oh, you guys want the pinwheel music? I'm not gonna lie. When I hear that pinwheel music, I go into like game show host. I'll turn it on though. Let's do it. It takes a little bit of time to. Let's see. Hey, Tider's back in Bama. Do a refresh for whatever reason. Like YouTube is like skipping out on some of the audio. That has cleared up the issue. So we'll give you like 2 seconds to refresh, and then we'll do the pinwheel sound. Test 1, 2. Test. That's what I'm saying. Dollar General is number 16. Piggly Wiggly is number 15. Number 14, I don't know. There's 16 grocery stores in this that we created. Up at the top is this bougie place, I guess, from Los Angeles. And number 2 is Whole Foods. I put Trader Joe's at like a number 4. Publix, I guess, 5. Albertsons is in there. Smith's in there. A couple other ones. Guys, ready? Is everybody checked in? 3, 2, game show host. And 3, 2, 1. Fam, welcome into the game show where we spin pinwheel for Alabama football gear right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Today is Tuesday. It is May 13th. We are raffling off an amazing hat, part of Alabama's Hide the Tide gear that you can get on Athletes Thread, only on Athletes Thread, led by Ty Simpson and Bray Hubbard. To get into the pinwheel, Venmo, Bama _ YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Guys ready? Who win the pinwheel today? Who's taking home the hat? Remember, we're spinning it 3 times. This is the first spin. This would have been the winner. Todd in Florida. All right. Nope. This is our second spin. Chance. All right. And here's our third spin. And this is our winner. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for watching Bama Football on YouTube. I love you. I appreciate you guys every single show, right from the bottom of my heart. Here is the hat. 3, 2, 1. I thought it was going to be Alex again, but it's Chance. Chance the Rapper. Hit me up, man. Here's my email inside the comment box. Man, I appreciate you guys. If you guys have won gear before, I've sent it out. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys are the best, rocking with me during the month of May. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, May 13th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Be good people. Stay where your feet are at. Catch my men's devotional. I'll put it inside the comment box. Have a blessed day, fam. I love you guys. See ya. I like to end it right when the show like kind of dips out. And remember, list your favorite grocery store. Oh, man, I'm stupid. All right. Love you, fam. We're out. Have a good day. See you next time right here on Bama Football on YouTube.